$20 figure? $40 figure. Is this one really that much better? Hey, this is Matt, and originally this review video was just going to be over the ThreeZero MDLX Mega Man, but when I posted a picture of it, I got a lot of comments asking about the Jada Toys version. And it's definitely a good figure, but let's take a closer look to see if this guy is worth twice the price. First, we will look at the ThreeZero MDLX Mega Man, also known as Rockman, which he was originally named. And you can also call him the Blue Bomber, right? It's another nickname. Got some different poses going on there. I do love the look of it. I like the design and style. It's definitely better than the Jada Toys version, which is a lot more plain. For my first impression of him, I do love the way he looks. I think they did a really good job aesthetically on him, and like all the darker blue has like a metal finish. I think it actually is die-cast metal. I like the softer, like his undersuits, that softer light blue. I think that's good. This little piece in the Mega Buster was one that kept popping out. We'll see it later. It's how you put in the blast effect. Looking at his accessories, there's not much. Remember, this one is a $40 figure. So there's not much that it comes with. It does have two sets of hands, which are the fists that he comes with, and then the open hands. And then it comes with the Mega Buster that you can swap out. It's kind of like a forearm swap. And then we have this E-Tank. We have that blast effect. And we have an extra additional interchangeable faceplate. Now let's jump to the Jada Toys version. As I mentioned already, the box is a lot simpler than the ThreeZero version. And this one is, just a reminder, is a $20 figure. So let's see how this compares and what accessories this comes with. For the most part, it's pretty similar. It doesn't have a faceplate that swap, but he does have a whole different head sculpt. We do have an extra pair of hands, which one is a little bit different, like open, and then there's another that has like another open pose to it, and then the two fists, and then the Mega Buster, which also is the forearm, like you swap the forearm piece, and then it does come with a blast effect that also has a stand. Seeing them both side by side, I mean, they look good. Both figures look good. Both of the coloring and the way that it's finished, it might be different, but they both look good. I think it comes down to preference as far as like how they look alone. I really like the ThreeZero one more. I feel like when I think of Mega Man, I feel like I see more of this style with his like the bigger shoes, which, I mean, that's a negative. Might be too big, but I like the bigger shoes. And the way this face looks, like it's more, like it just looks cleaner and like more updated and just a better look. Whereas the Jada Toys version looks like a hair, like I don't know if it's like more cartoony, whereas the ThreeZero is more of like an anime style. Maybe that's it. I'm not sure. I think I like the look of the ThreeZero more. And I'm not even sure if that's because of the design of the figure or just like the design of the Mega Man they chose, because there's so many different versions and styles of Mega Man out there, and I just feel like I like this ThreeZero version more. Looking at them both laid out like this, the biggest difference, which isn't that big, is just this E-Tank, and everything else is pretty much the same. So like, it's not like this one, even though it costs twice as much, comes with a lot more, but obviously that's going to be, in the quality and how he's put together. For articulation, starting from the top, for the head, the ThreeZero is going to have a good amount better range than the Jada Toys version, and that is because it has a ball joint in the head and a ball joint in the neck, and so it just moves very easily and has really good range. Whereas the Jada Toys version does have a ball joint up there, but I don't think in the neck area, and so it's just limited to that. It still has a good, like, it can still kind of look up, but it still has a good downward look, just not as good as the ThreeZero version. For the shoulders, the ThreeZero does have a good, it has butterfly joints and it has a good range going up. For the Jada Toys, it can do that too. It does not have butterfly joints. It just has the hinge, and so it is pretty locked at 180 there. I know that was one issue with this ThreeZero, is that sometimes it does pop out a little bit. It's not like I'm not worried about it breaking, but you know, it's just kind of annoying sometimes when you're posing it, but it pops back in very easily. The ThreeZero does have the bicep swivel, which is always a nice bonus. The Jada Toys does not, but because of the way the elbow is with the peg, like this, the blaster or the hand, the forearm, it can turn all the way around, but it just has the single hinge peg there. And then for the ThreeZero, like on the regular hand, it has a double jointed elbow. And the part where you swap the, like for the Mega Buster, like it has like this piece, see there, the arm broke a little bit, it popped out. It has a separate, like the way it's put together is nice, because even with the Buster or the forearm, big forearms, it still holds up. Like it still can bend all the way. I mean, this one still has some good range, but I like how they engineered this elbow with these big forearms. For the ab crunch, I feel like they're the same. Yeah, it might be a little work. They have the joints in the ab, but then they also have it for like the waist, which I feel like a lot of figures don't do that. Like the waist right there. I feel like they're the same for the most parts. The ThreeZero might have like a little bit better range just because he's slimmer. Oh, but going back to the wrists, I feel like that's like maybe a negative for me for the ThreeZero, is that it's on just like a single, it's on a ball joint. Might even be a double ball joint in there, I guess. And you can move it. It doesn't move that much. And it does look kind of cool because it's seamless, but it's not like for some poses, I wish I could have like put his hand up more, which the Jada Toys, like you can, because it has like the hinge on the wrist as well as the peg ball joint inside. So that's definitely a plus for this guy. And then back down to the legs. They both can do these splits. He does have a thigh swivel. And then the knees for the ThreeZero, it's similar to the elbows, double jointed, really good engineering for how big these like lower legs are. And then for the Jada Toys, it's just the same single joint peg, but it's still pretty good. Good upward motion. But yeah, that double joint is crazy. And then similar to the wrists, like as a negative, the feet are a little bit weird. Like they do turn because I think it's a ball joint up on the top part, and it's just like, it is a ball joint with a peg on the bottom, but it's because of the design, it's just hard to like move it left and right. And maybe it could go a little further, but I just don't want to break it. So it can move, which is cool, but it just doesn't like turn that well. And then for the Jada Toys, it's on just the hinge that can move relatively well. It does not turn at all. It's different, definitely two different ways of articulation. I think the advantage goes to the ThreeZero as far as like what you can accomplish. Like it's obviously better with double jointed elbows and knees and bicep swivel, but like this guy can still get in some, like all the poses you would want to put him in. Swapping the faceplate on the ThreeZero version is similar to the Dragon Ball Z or Naruto from SH Figure Arts, where you have to remove like the headband or hairpiece first, and then you pop the faceplate on. Very easy, stays connected really well, never fell off on me, hasn't loosened yet. And the same thing with the Mega Buster is just like a kind of like swapping a hand. You just pop it off and pop it on. And then for the Jada Toys, also easy. It's a head sculpt, so it's not a faceplate, and it just pops on. And then the same thing for the Mega Buster. It's just that single joint that you just pop out and then pop on the Buster. On the ThreeZero, there's the little piece that I mentioned falls out on me when I was posing him. Comes off easily. It's like a little magnet in there. But if you do get this guy, that's one thing to be careful for, because it is super tiny. If it does fall out, I imagine it being easily lost. But once you just pop it out, the blast effect, which would have been cooler if it was a little bit bigger, just pops in there easily. Here's some extra poses and movement that I got with the ThreeZero Mega Man. One big advantage the Jada Toys version will have, and not so much the figure, but the toy line, is that they are coming out with more characters and other bad guys. So I did get Cutman from Jada Toys. Box is pretty similar, accessories pretty similar. The look and feel very similar to the Jada Toys Mega Man. But a big question for the ThreeZero is, will this ThreeZero Mega Man look good next to this line of bad guys? And ThreeZero does have other figures coming, but they are all Mega Man so far, like different upgrades of Mega Man and Mega Man X, but no other characters yet. The Jada Toys Mega Man and Cutman they have the same body. So not sure if that's a big negative to some people or not. I'm sure other characters might be a little different. But for these two, like, they're exactly the same, just different headpiece and like accessory piece. But next to the ThreeZero, like, he's obviously bigger. It's a slightly bigger scale, but it doesn't look that bad to me. So like, I'm okay with the bad guys having a slightly larger scale look to them. Not sure what your thoughts are on that though. So now let's set up some scenes for some different toy photos that I took. For this first one, it's a simpler one. I'm going to swap out and get a picture of each of the Mega Men, and we can see how they look from a photo standpoint. This next one, I'm using an Extreme Sets diorama that it's modular, so I can kind of position however I want it. I did want it to look like a monster horror vibe, like Alien, I guess, but you know, with Mega Man. And so I wanted this light to come through this gate from the side and being like the main light to light up the scene and the figure. The last one involved Mega Man fighting some skeletons. For this one, I also just used the ThreeZero Mega Man, and I made this diorama base real quick and positioned some skeletons around them. Kind of made a little fun video out of it. So is the ThreeZero really worth twice as much as the Jada Toys version? I think he is. I think I like his look overall. I like the slight better articulation. And like I said, I like the style of Mega Man that they decided to make. So he's my favorite. What about you? Which one do you prefer? Create and inspire.